When I was a pro carpenter working in the field, I operated out of a van that was basically a mobile carpentry battle wagon. It was a pretty good setup overall, but it took a while to empty it out. I was always lacking something, and it was a headache creating a work site on the ground every day. I dreamt of having some sort of entirely mobile workshop that would set up in minutes and have everything I needed. Fast forward to last week when I attended the International Builder Show 2023 out in Las Vegas. All of the newest and best construction products showcased here, and as I was walking the floor, I stumbled onto something that I knew right away could revolutionize the construction industry. The CT1 by On-Site Building Solutions, the world's first fully mobile carpentry shop. It was actually in the running for 2 major awards at IBS 2023. Best New Building Material and Most Innovative Construction Tool. This is pretty incredible because the CT1 is entirely designed and fabricated by a very small family business operating out of Foley, Alabama. Jeff Kramer, the CT1 inventor, is a lifelong carpenter and trailer fabricator who combined his passions to first produce this marvel. And his son, Nathan Kramer, is the lead welder and fabricator responsible for building each trailer by hand. Nathan walked me through every function of the CT1 after hours on the show floor, breaking down and setting up the whole unit for me. And as we covered every step, I realized that nothing had been left out or left to chance. It was basically my dream on wheels, and I thought everybody should really see it. So today, I'm explaining how this brilliant piece of engineering works. And that's coming up next on The Honest Carpenter Show. So here's the breakdown on the CT1. Closed up, the unit is 15 feet long, 7 feet wide, and just 6.5 feet tall. So it can be parked safely in an average residential garage, which is important given the amount of random theft in residential construction. Plus, all tools are stored on board in lockable boxes. Closed up, it looks like a small fire truck or the world's most elaborate grill. But the CT1 is so well designed that it basically unpacks like a transformer. And once it's parked on level ground, the whole unit can be set up and ready to work on in just 10 minutes. A retractable frame on the front end of the unit extends over the hitch, and steel gussets stored in the front box secured at full extension, about 5 feet. 2x3s also in the front box, then sit in cradles on the frame, creating a sizable cut station for sheet goods. A track saw is supplied for making use of this workspace, which is really helpful. And the trailer even offers full dust collection at all work points, including through this pipe boom that serves the front end. It's all part of an integrated, smart dust collection system. When you activate any tool on the CT1, a strong portable vacuum in the front box kicks on, drawing material first through a dust cyclone separator, then into the vacuum itself. The dust separator prevents the vacuum from filling up too frequently, which I've talked about before in previous videos. So it's a great addition. And again, you turn the whole vacuum system on by simply pulling the trigger on any plugged-in tool on the unit. It runs for the full duration of your tool usage, then runs for 5 seconds after you release the trigger, so the system can purge the lines of any extra debris. Nathan's grandfather was a tradesman who eventually developed COPD. And it was important to the Kramers that the CT1 offered dust collection for lung protection on job sites, which is really something we should all think about more. The front box also houses a 6-gallon compressor with ports to either side of the trailer so pneumatic tools can be used at workstations. But the compressor can also be lifted out and carried around a job site if needed. 2 Honda generators sit on a chassis tongue in case you need power in remote locations. But if power is available at your job site, the back of the trailer has 2 separate 20-amp inlets that feed to various outlets around the unit. So you can also hook up straight from the house. Now, the main body of the CT obviously houses a lot of stuff, and it's all condensed in sort of an intricate puzzle. For instance, assembly begins by drawing out several retractable rail frames that are collapsed into the structure. Each large tool then has an adapter that lets it mount to a specific rail location with power and a dust vacuum port nearby. But the cool thing is that tools are swappable, and On-Site can provide different custom adapters for specific tool collections. The unit they're riding around with now is probably best suited to a finished trim carpenter, which is exactly what I would have needed for most of my jobs. Really nice detachable work tables are then released from lockable steel traps, and those tables sit on the larger extended rail frames. And the back door of the unit swings open upwards, and the larger tools pull out on strong sliding drawers. Probably the coolest thing about the CT1 overall is workflow. Carpenters and woodworkers struggle a lot with tool placement and especially material outfeed. And what caught my eye about the CT1 is that nothing interferes with anything else. For instance, the 2 big tools are on the right-hand side, the miter saw and the table saw. The 12-inch miter saw sits in a well that brings the work table outfeed wings up to level with the miter saw bed. Then, space between the storage boxes behind allows for full swing articulation of the saw, even with the vacuum hose attached. The table saw sits beside it on its own rail system, and its height actually matches the miter saw deck, so outfeed can run over it. Or the table saw rail even extends out a couple extra feet, so you can get wider rip capacity if you need it. The same thing applies to the router table on the other side and the work table behind it. Material pushed through will not only clear the table, but also be supported by it. So your outfeed has extra support on long pieces. There's a Kreg Foreman pocket hole machine and its own cradle at the back, which again can be switched out for other tools with custom adapters. Plus, there's also an ample amount of additional storage above and below the workstations along the sides. Belly boxes at head level have 3/4-inch plywood backs, so you can mount anything you like to them with screws. Nathan has this one set up as a battery charging station, which I think is a really good idea. And the other side is currently full of pack-out units, which is obviously a great place to store fasteners and small parts. And behind and below the work tables on both sides, you have even more really deep storage. These dumps are perfect for all those random power tools, hand tools, nail guns, cords, and bags that you accumulate with a professional tool collection. And there's also a second full-size box in the front behind the one that houses the compressor and vacuum. So if you have bulkier items, you can almost certainly fit them in here. And of course, we always have to carry more than just tools and fasteners. You have to think about lumber too. The whole unit has an integrated lumber rack with 2 frames above the body and a removable goalpost rack that sits in a bracket at the front during travel. With all 3 frames, you can carry up to 24-foot sticks with plenty of support. The extra goalpost rack is just one of those great afterthoughts. And I think what really makes the CT1 so brilliant is this level of attention to detail. Like how the work tables have embedded T-tracks that mate with Kreg hold-down clamps, so you can easily set up stops for the miter saw wherever you need them. And that the power system for the trailer consists of 2 separate 20-amp inlets, so you don't have to worry about overloading a side, even when you're running both of your big tools. And the front storage box even has this small weep hole in the floor that allows for tank drainage without removing the compressor. These are the sort of details that only someone like Jeff could have thought of. As a lifelong carpenter and fabricator, he has that embedded knowledge of what a carpenter wants on the job site. And to build the first prototypes of the CT1, he started by simply asking, what would make my job easier? Then he began designing to solve his own problems. When I first saw the trailer, I told Jeff, this could really change construction forever. And apparently I wasn't the only one who felt that way. Because as I was boarding a flight to head back home from Vegas, Jeff and his family were attending the IBS award ceremony for finalists in their various competitions. And moments after that, they won Most Innovative Construction Tool of 2023, beating out some of the largest building tech companies in the world, which proves that every great innovation you see in a place like this starts with a person like this. And the size of the company doesn't matter half as much as the size of their vision. I want to thank On-Site Building Solutions for letting me film their awesome invention after hours at IBS 2023. Their company is still very small, but they'll begin scaling up quickly. And with the buzz from IBS, I think they'll have all the work they could ask for in years to come. I'll include links to some of the tools seen in this video down below in case you're just now building your own tool collection. A lot of what On-Site incorporates into their designs represents the best tools in their class. As always, thanks for watching. Be sure to check back soon for more videos coming up, and please consider subscribing and hitting that bell button to turn on notifications. That way you'll know the moment we post something. I'm Ethan James with The Honest Carpenter. I'll see you next time.